All right, big fella. When you put one-word topics down that you've been wondering about, it kind of piques my interest.
Yeah.
And now that we know what it is for sure, I'm intrigued to see where you go.
Well, what do you? I don't know how other you could.
Well, you could have spelled it right.
I don't like it either.
Ugh. It's a little too sweet.
Yeah, it's way too sweet. So yeah, we had a recommendation from a nice woman that works at a local. Our main sponsor, Bob's Liquor.
Not a sponsor.
About this, I said I need some cheap ass red wine, and boy, we got it.
Little did we know she had some Welch's grape juice in
She
the back
said
corner.
no. She said this year's been around since I was a kid.
Like the same bottle because it hasn't sold?
Well, no, the brand. The hell was that noise?
I don't know, but Bojangles is
I think it was
right over Dave's shoulder.
God.
again.
Yeah.
Where?
Right there.
Well, I was kind of wondering about innards and where you guys stood on innards. Then let me, because I know we're going to hyperfixate on the one-word topic here and wonder what because it says INERDS. I didn't really care how to spell
I thought you
it.
had an issue with nerds, like
nerds.
and
No. Innards. I didn't know how to spell it. Innards. But I was thinking, last weekend I went to the YMI in Huntingburg, and I had a plate of chicken hearts. And I love chicken hearts. I eat the shit out of chicken hearts. Tonight we had gizzards from the Legion. And then, so basically there are different ways to eat innards. And didn't know this, but did you know that, like, if you have gout, like, you can't eat innards?
Probably because of the high fatty content of them.
Well, or uric acid, because that's what that's what it comes from.
The uric acid.
Yeah. So, where you guys stand on them? Like, do you dabble in that kind of stuff?
I mean, I'll eat a gizzard or heart here or there. I don't ever order them, but I mean, if there's some out there, I'll have some.
I'm out on gizzards. I don't like the texture, but I'll do hearts and livers.
No, Dorothy Smoker makes a pretty mean liver and onion, beef liver.
Yeah.
I've had heart tacos plenty.
Heart tacos?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Go into that one. Paint me a picture, Picasso.
I mean, you just chunk you up a heart and throw it in a crack pat, and
Like a bunch of little chicken hearts or like a beef heart?
beef heart.
Oh, okay. Are you talking chicken specifically?
No. Broad spectrum here. I wanted to get into the other innards too, like on the pigs and the hogs and the cows, because there's a lot more of them in them big animals.
Yeah. Chickens, hearts, and liver. Beef innards, pork innards, probably not.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't get into pork innards too much.
What would
Really?
you get from the pork innards? What are you eating from the pork innards?
Head cheese,
Oh, no,
liver-
see, I don't
liver-
dabble into any of that.
head cheese, liver sausage, blood pudding or blood sausage, stuff like that. Now innards, head cheese is obviously, it's more than just head meat. So like people, they throw kidneys in there, they throw all kinds of stuff like that in that pot when they're making head cheese. But I don't know if
Now, where do you settle on tongue? Is that an innard or an outard?
that would be, I don't know. That'd probably be more of like a muscle.
Are you a beef tongue guy?
Ooh,
No, Grandma makes that too.
lengua.
I got a beef tongue story.
Lengua.
So, old feller, he's since passed. Old James Joseph Mundy.
Mm-hmm.
Probably got some grandkids may listen to this bad
Jimmy.
boy. But old Jimmy Joe had a tradition. When he went over the river to Cincinnati to watch a ball game, you packed beef tongue. It was an old family tradition from when he was a kid. So when they'd go to Cincinnati, they'd pack beef tongue. That's just what they had. And so when I worked for the Parks Department back in the high school days, towards the end of the season, Dale and company, we'd take an afternoon and we'd go to Cincinnati catch a game. And he brought beef tongue, and that's the one and only time I've had beef tongue. But because I didn't want to be that guy that didn't partake because it was a family tradition, and I'm not about letting traditions die.
It's like a labor of love when you're making lingua because there's a process. Like you got to pressure cook the shit out of it,
Yeah.
then you got to skin it, then you got to scrape it, and then you slice it. And like I've had like the Taquero El Año, the local taco truck around here. They make lengua tacos, and they also make tripe, which is like the gut. The beef gut, and I've had both of those in taco form, and they're both very quality. But it's just a lot of. What have you ever heard of caul fat?
Can't
Do you
say
know
I
what
have.
caul fat is?
CULL.
Caul fat is whenever you like if you're skinning a deer, and the intestines would be basically like encased in this spider web looking thing.
Okay.
And you can take caul fat and wrap like your innards in it and make like a sort of like a it kind of looks like that. That's caul fat.
Oh,
And so like you can take your like
so
a
you
lot
kind of make it like a pork rind.
no
fried up.
no they take their burgers like you take like a burger patty
Uh-huh.
and then you wrap that burger patty in caul fat. And then you grill them like that, and it just adds that, like the texture and the richness of that. That caul fat will like render into your meat. It's just a different way, old style eating.
Well, they didn't waste anything in the old days.
No. So, deer heart, a lot of people throw them away. I have taken 3 deer hearts this year.
Yeah, down at the Bushlight Butcher and
Bush Light.
Yeah, down there at the meat tree on 1025. Like I have harvested
meat tree.
I have harvested 3 hearts from deer that I have not taken.
Did Corey give you?
Yeah,
Did
yeah, and I love it. Like I just eat the shit out of it. Like
he?
I'm all
form or?
no, I just skillet fry it,
Mm.
flour and butter and some garlic, and just let her eat. Cast iron
he?
skillet.
What's the taste?
Minerally, earthy. Obviously some seasonings, you know. But it's kind of
Like, do you
earthy.
slice it before you fry it?
Mhm.
Kind of like thin slice?
yeah. Yep. It's kind of like eating nickels or not nickels, pennies.
Oh,
Sounds
Pennies.
terrible.
Yeah. No, it's
I've not had any in
no,
a while.
It's not that
but
bad. It is minerally. Like it's a very
Is there any way to get
earthy.
some of that taste out of that?
Mm-mm.
It's just what
Because
it is.
it's literally that's what that's for.
Yeah, gotcha.
Pumping blood.
Well,
And you know
no,
how blood has that taste.
Iron, I think, is
It's
what you're looking
Iron,
for.
that's right. Yeah.
Attaboy, good call.
But that and then so like you've never had pork kidneys?
I can't say is it.
Oh goddamn. You take them fuckers and put them in that head pot, like when you put the head in there.
Yeah.
When they're boiling that head meat out, you take the pork kidneys and you have them, and then there's like you got to cut the bad spots out of the kidneys.
Uh-huh.
And then you take a coat hanger, a wire one, and then you run them kidneys through. You run that coat hanger through them.
You kebab it.
Basically the kidney halves, and then you wire it back together, and then you hang that hook on the side of the pot.
Like down in the.
Yeah, that way
Okay.
the kidneys are down in there cooking with the head meat.
Okay.
And whenever you think they're done, then you pull that coat hanger out, and those kidneys are hanging done and cooked. That way they don't get lost in the pot. And that right there, buddy,
Nobody likes lost kidneys,
that's
Dave.
good shit.
Dave's
You
face,
would like it.
Dave's face right now is one of intrigue.
No, you would understand. You would like it. I guarantee you would like it. Like you, as long as you didn't put too much thought to it and just eat it,
Yeah.
yeah, you'd be fine.
And the hanger taste.
You ever eat testes or anything?
Yes, sir.
I
Lots.
have not.
Really?
Not even like turkey nuts?
Never,
Oh.
never.
I can, woo boy. I can get down on some of them gobbler balls.
You
that's
like
for sure.
gobbler balls in
Yeah.
around your face.
Now, listen.
Kind of like that raccoon that broke in through your house with that hole.
I do really, really like. So I helped
Now, do you
local.
consider that innards or is that a muscle too?
The
I don't-
testes?
More of a gland, huh?
No, it's a nut.
Well, I mean, it
Testicle.
ain't a tree
Testy
nut.
is a gland, technically, right?
No,
Are nuts glands?
no. Testicles are not glands.
How would they not be glands? They produce stuff, don't they? Isn't that what glands
Yeah.
do?
Huh?
Yeah.
I don't think you're right. But I mean,
Well, the two nurses don't seem to think that they're glands.
Yes, testicles are glands. Locations. Testicles are a pair of oval-shaped glands located inside the scrotum, which is a sac of skin outside of the body. So they wouldn't be an innard; they would be an outward.
Okay.
Hey,
But yeah,
don't
no,
wanna get
so-
too personally.
Yeah, the testicles.
I guess it depends on the weather, though. Tell you the
Yeah,
truth.
that's true.
No shit. Right
Or
now,
if you didn't-
mine.
If you didn't have one that
look like a little
descended.
box turtle hanging out there. Anyway, so I help Travis Leisner and Randy Leisner. We would, cut bulls and all that pan. I just have a big ice cream bucket or 2 or 3 gallon bucket full of bull nuts, like just steer balls, and they're like.
They're not that big.
No, they're probably nothing bigger than like this beer can.
Girth.
Kind of like a golf ball.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Well, the process of getting them ready to cook is kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like you got to cut the scrotum
you got to
off.
jerk the bowl off first.
Yeah.
You want to drain the testicle.
You got to cut the scrotum off, and then you got to skin them because there's like a really,
Yeah.
really, really tough membrane that goes around the ball itself. Get rid of that, and then you slice that nut, and it's almost like a yellowish color that it's almost spongy looking. Like it's like
Okay.
it's really hard to explain, but you roll that in flour and butter and fry it. I mean, it is good.
Vas deferens and all, huh?
Yeah. No, you cut all that off
Okay.
Yeah.
How do they castrate their bulls?
with a knife.
Oh, they go that route.
Yeah, you just make a small cut in a sack, reach in there and you pull them off, and you just pull them out.
Sure, the bull appreciates that.
Yeah, they bellow pretty loud.
Yeah. I would
Well, they're
say
not
so.
bulls; they're just little calves.
Well, yeah.
I mean, they're big. Well,
Well-
I got invited to help flank calves one time for cutting, and I was scared. I mean, them some bitches weighed more than me. And this Travis was like, "Just grab it, Mace, grab it, flank it, flank it." And that some bitch is, going like crazy and scared me to death. He's up on the horse, lassoing them some bitches. And he's like, "Grab it, grab it, grab it." There's videos. I'll show you sometime, but.
Oh, good God.
Scared me to death. But
Yeah, that'll
anyway,
happen.
I don't know. Just I was thinking about that as I was plowing through a plate of hearts, and
I don't get too exotic on that stuff.
I do. I like it. I think
Now-
it's neat. Kind of taboo eating, but I enjoy it.
How do you eat your chicken hearts? A little hot sauce, a little
Yeah,
ranch?
Definitely. No ranch, just hot sauce. Frank's all the way.
I love a good liver with some ketchup.
Make me gag.
Chicken livers.
It's like fried pudding. I'm out. I'm not a liver guy.
The gizzards is just that
I
texture.
could eat gizzards.
Geezer. You're going to eat a geezer.
I could eat a lot of gizzards before I could get through a liver.
Think about this. How many chicken hearts do you think you had tonight?
None. Because the Legion doesn't have hearts anymore.
He had a breaded pork tenderloin.
I had
Oh, that's right.
I had gizzards tonight.
Gizzards tonight.
I single-handedly ended the lives of several chickens.
That's what I'm saying. Like the
Yeah.
scale of what
that just
it
goes
takes.
to show you. I think
now,
on-
where does a gizzard reside in a chicken?
up here in its neck.
I was thinking it was somewhere in that neck of the
It's
neck.
it's the muscle that grinds the shit in its craw. So like a bird,
It's a very good
a
description.
chicken will go and eat grain out of your feeder.
Yeah, just peck.
They'll peck it, eat it up. All of that food that it eats goes into its craw, which is a pouch in its neck.
Is that what a crawl is?
Yeah, you got a little itch in your craw. Yeah. Then
But I think that's a different crawl.
no, it's the same. It's
I always
that's what
thought
it's
that was
referencing.
somewhere below the waistline.
Negative. No.
Yeah, that's what I always thought
No.
too.
So then
What's
that
stuck
chicken.
in your crawl? God dang! I just heard that today.
You're welcome. Then that chicken will go into your root, like you in your run or somewhere in your chicken pen. You're supposed to have either gravel or sand,
It'll eat rocks
and it'll eat rocks.
and then it grinds it.
And then that stuff, the rocks will get in that crawl with that stuff, and then the gizzard is what makes that move around.
Now, how do they get the rocks out?
Well,
That's how the eggs are made,
They
Dave.
stay in there.
Forever?
No, they poop them out.
Well, yeah, it
It's not
grinds
like
them
it's
so.
it's not like it's
leaves the
tubes.
gizzard. It leaves the gizzard.
The gizzard that never comes in contact with this shit.
I thought you said the rock.
The crawl is the sack that this stuff stays in.
I know. Then the rocks go in there, and then the gizzard grinds it up.
Yeah, from the outside.
Using the rocks. Think of your
So here's
gizzards
your
kinda like
gizzard. Here's
tonsils.
your sack.
Mhm.
You see what I mean?
And your hands, your
World
gizzard.
class.
Yeah, this is the gizzard. This
And
is
the rocks in your
class.
fingers.
yeah.
World class.
It just grinds them.
yeah.
I'll be damned.
See, that's where what grinds your gears comes from too.
No, I don't.
I know.
That ain't
I
right.
was just throwing it out there.
That ain't
Yeah, but yeah, got something stuck in your crawl.
Going in her.
Yeah, there we go. Hey,
I'm all in.
who'd never guessed that Innards turned into Innards?